taking chances in life. Have you taken some chances in life? I have to assume you have. And some people have not, perhaps, but most people I know have taken some kind of chance. Heck, deciding to have a child is taking a major chance, right? That's so, and even if you haven't done that, buying a pet or just being with someone who needs you, that's taking a chance, and there's always chance being taken in everything we do. But let's zoom out and look at some less commonplace chances being taken. Perhaps something that a dream of yours or a dream you never knew you had, or some opportunity where all it takes is a yes, and to let fear be set aside for a moment. Perhaps that's the chance we're talking about here. So think about it. What have you said no to? And sometimes no is an absolute must. And that's something I've just recently learned, that, too many yeses in some cases is a problem. Saying yes to every single thing that came my way was the way I lived for about, I don't know, forever. And I had to start saying no. A good friend of mine told me this, just said something unbelievable to me. We were actually headed upstate into New York to this beautiful Buddhist monastery. And this conversation came up. He asked me something. This is a brilliant piece. And please take this. How many open loops do you have in your life? Open loops. What's an open loop, And he says, well, these are, let's say you have energy, right? And 100 points of energy in this life. Where are those points going? Are there open loops that are eating up that energy? And I just sat there and I said, oh man, I said, there have to be at least 20. Like, oh my gosh, you do inventory of this. And imagine you have, just to be simple, 100 coins. Each coin represents a unit of energy in your life. And you might argue and say, all right, that's not enough, or this is an arbitrary number. And coins, who would use coins? Well, I think coins is a fair representation of energy too, in a way. So 100 coins. You have 20 loops open, and they're all running at the very same time. And each coin is now being put into one of these loops. So you have 5 coins per loop, but let's just call it that. It's 20 loops, 20 open activities or open projects or tasks or just lingering things in your life. And you may think that that's not eating up your energy, but it is, because there is some level, conscious or otherwise, it's taking up those energy units. So he asked me, what are you doing with your coins? And I said, man, that's a great question. We're driving upstate. I have an hour and a half ahead of us. And I got to really think about that. And that was a meditation right there, driving and contemplating that question. So when I got to our destination, I made a list. I made a list of all the things that were eating up. A lot of things I said yes to at one point in my life that felt right at the moment, but they have to be closed out now. They're just not, it's not their time. It's not their season. Or it just needs to be moved on from for the moment because it's important. And there's other things that are kind of knocking on my door. I have to answer that call. So this is what happened. So please look at your inventory of open loops. All right. I did not intend to talk about this in this video, but here we are. So open loops, make a list and think about closing some, or at least addressing some and bringing it to light and the surface. And you'll see some things unravel, and this beauty kind of unravel, starts coming to pass. I did this for about half of the loops. Okay. It's not the most exact science, but it really does work. And just take inventory and try this. Maybe today, or, well, I prefer if you did it right now, but try that. Make a list and try to start closing some basic loops that may be open. Perhaps it's a bill you haven't paid or something else that's eating away at you. I know it's very simple. Or perhaps it's something you want to say to somebody or a friend you want to reach out to. These are open loops, and something bigger, like a big project you started, didn't finish, a shed or a tree house, or heck, just fixing your kid's bike, right? So all these things are loops. Anyway, so taking chances. Taking chances is something that so many yeses happen in this life, and some of which you have to close out, the loops, some of which are now open and you just couldn't believe how life was without them. So a year ago, we were, my wife and I were having a chat. She loves growing flowers. She's a gardener. And we'd run out of room in our house, our parents' houses, for her to grow flowers. We have a room taken up in our house just for flower growing. And she couldn't grow a particular flower. And of course, life led us to it. But I said, I'll find it for you. I'll find you the flower. I tried my best. And I did. And I found the flower, and it happened to be at a farm on the North Fork of Long Island. So we went and visited the very next day, because why not? Got to close that loop out. And we did. And we got there, and this wonderful farmer, his name is Jeff, ironically, like myself, and he just happened to mention in passing, after we bought the flowers from him, that he happened to have some land it was just sitting there barren, overgrown and otherwise. And he'd love it if somebody were to lease it. Maybe he'd lease it to a utility company or someplace, clean it up basically. So I heard this comment, and we're driving home, and I told my wife, you know, let's do this. You know, you love growing flowers. Let's take that land. You know, it just seems like a great fit. I just think we should try it. And her answer, and she looked at me, and, you know, at first we were talking about it in a logical way. And all of a sudden, logic fell away. And there was a moment where we just said, okay. So, long story short, we took over the land with the farmer's blessing. And we're not farmers. In fact, I'm in IT, right? I'm a technical person. She's a photographer, so, you know, flowers, photography go nicely together. But she's, you know, not a farmer. So we took over the land and we cleared it out with the help of the farmer, and we took it over. And this was last year, just about 1 year ago today. And we took it over and we started a flower farm. So taking a chance, for me, that was the ultimate chance. I'm not very hands-on in terms of handiness. You know, it's not something I'm practiced in, but it felt like such a great chance to take. And we did this, and we kept our jobs. Nothing changed with that. We just found time we didn't know we had. You know, the kids go to school. We shoot out over there. It's an hour drive each way. We have 2 hours to work, and we shoot back. Basically, that was for a whole few months, right? It's just doing things, renting machines. I just learned so much. And this farm is in full bloom this year. And we had one test run last year because we took it over in the late spring, early summer. So we had a nice little run, sample run of flowers. And it was 7 rows, and they were all cut flowers. It's a You-Pick flower farm on Long Island. And you get to come with family and cut some flowers, make bouquets, and there's all kinds of parties there now. And it was a test run. This year is just starting. The season just started, and it's going wonderfully. And she has 15 rows now, so we doubled the size of this farm. And what we ended up doing was we ended up living there a couple of days a week to tend to the farm, to be there, to be with customers, to get it ready, to meet people as needed. And we ended up splitting time between our home and there, almost evenly now. And if you'd asked me a year ago if I'd be a flower farmer with the word farmer in anything a year ago, I would have laughed at you and said, no, I'm in technology. There's no way I'd be doing that. And life had other plans. But taking a chance on that was critical, because what it did, it's like a many-faceted diamond, right? So it's rough at first, like the land was overgrown, and you're holding the diamond, right? And it just looks like a rock. But as you polish it and it gets cut and everything looks, you know, cleaner, you start seeing all the different areas and the different little nuance and the different, all the things, all those parts and these intricacies of the diamond. And this particular diamond, the farm, is unbelievably beautiful. And I will sit here and tell you the truth. I've complained as recently as yesterday about some of the work that had to be done. I was putting together a rototiller, this big old rototiller, you know, to cover some of the sunflower rows. And as the very last step, I noticed a wire had snapped or had broken or something was wrong with it. And I just threw a tantrum. It was a tantrum moment. And, but then quickly, as you realize the kids are running and you get to go pick fruit, next hour later, we're picking fruit off these peach trees, and we're just living life on this, on the east end of the island. And it's the most beautiful thing, and it snaps you right out of it. And it quickly reminds you how many facets there are to this diamond. Think about this for a minute. Not only is it a farm you get to enjoy, but we've had 8 or 9 parties there. You know, like it feels like there's people coming we'd never have over, because it's just, in ways, it's a hassle at the house. It's kind of a tight space. There, it's very vast, and we have people there. We have some food brought in, and it's things and people, you know, we wouldn't be seeing all the time. The kids love it. The kids go, they collect bugs, and they look at wildlife, and they pick flowers, and they're running through the fields and the flowers. And we're living there. They're experiencing a camping life, kind of a very interesting, different life than we live here on this part of the island. So think about all these facets, and we get to go fruit picking, to the water park, to friends' houses that are nearby, to a beach at night every night we're there, and it's just all these things you wouldn't, you know, what am I signing up for, right? A ton of work, more work than I could ever have explained to you, that I've ever done at least. And to have become this farmer, quote unquote, and have a new hat to put on and a new mask to wear, so to speak, this part of the story has many facets, and it's like a beautiful diamond. And just think about what in your life, if you're saying no to something, consider it logically, of course, and see if it's good for you. But at the same time, see how it feels in your gut, and you may come to a conclusion that it may be the right thing for you, and maybe something you're worth trying or dipping your toe in. That's what we did. We just dipped our toe in and said, okay, we'll try it. There's very little commitment there, other than knowing we wanted to try, and we did try, and it succeeded by all accounts. So I just wanted to share a story with you. So 2 things. That multifaceted diamond, the thing you're saying no to, looks like a rock. You just say, I don't want that. Get this out of here. It may be a diamond, and it may be something you can polish and work with and become something beautiful. Even if you complain about it like me, and I do that often, but quickly snap back, and it feels great. And also consider the loops in your life. And maybe when you close some loops, new loops can open. Maybe there's just maximum capacity used. So take back some of that energy, those coins, take them back into your storehouse, and then give them back, perhaps to a new idea, right? Or give them to somebody, kind of help someone in need, and you'll have energy to do all this. Splitting your energy 20, 50, 100 ways. I know maybe this is incorrect metaphysically, but whatever. It feels a whole lot like you're being split in many directions. Imagine your focus going in one direction. How'd that look? I'm not totally sure how that looks. There's a lot going on, but I'm closing loops and I feel more energy is being poured into each open loop, which is still there for a reason. Okay, that's the whole point of this video. I wanted to explain that to you the best I could using real life examples. And once again, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear from you. And as usual, I love you all and thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye for now.